Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name's Nicole and I'm an addict, and my sobriety date right now. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. And what I want to do today, you guys, like I promised you guys, I'm going to share with you guys a story time. And this story time is about how I caught my felony charge and went to prison. And I know a lot of you guys are brand new to my channel. Um, every time, hey Amber, every time I tell a story, I get something different out of my story. Like, I don't know how to explain this other than, like, every time I share, I feel like I get more healing, and I feel it just helps me to share it. So I'm going to go ahead and start. If I don't read your comments while I'm telling you guys the story, it's just because I don't want to get distracted, okay? So don't get offended or anything if I don't say hi to you guys when you come in. So I'm going to start the story. Okay, take off your socks and go get a new pair out of your room. Love you. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, here we go. All right, I'm going to take you guys all the way back to 2008. Okay, so in 2008, I was living with a guy. We'll call him N. Okay, N. We'll call him N. Okay, and so I was living with a guy named N, and he was a methamphetamine cook. All right, so he was cooking meth, and I had been living there for probably like 4 months. I was working at this place called Shoe Carnival, and I hadn't started like shooting up yet. I was still smoking and snorting methamphetamine, and so I was still smoking and snorting it. I wasn't like, I want to say like I wasn't seriously strung out, but like I was. I used every single day. And the reason I used every single day was because I lived with the dope cook. So it was readily available to me at all times, along with other things. Back then it was Oxycontin 80s, Xanax bars, and all kinds of different stuff, right? But the main thing that I was abusing at that time in 2008 was methamphetamine. So it was probably like 3 months after I moved in with him, I started shooting up. And I'm going to tell you guys kind of like what happened that led me to shooting up. And then I'm going to explain to you guys how serious it was after I shot up. So what led me to even trying to shoot up was we were all hanging out, right? We would be like up all night long, and it was a trailer. So it would be a trailer full of people at all time, in and out, in and out. It was constant traffic, you guys. There was so much traffic that, because the way it was one way in and one way out, because we were at the end of a dead end. There was so much traffic that the police had started to post up in the neighbor, because it was like a cul-de-sac, the neighbor's driveway, and just sat there, and they were looking over and watching us, right? And we were so high off methamphetamine, like, I think that we thought that they weren't watching us, but that's why they were there. They were watching us. So one night we were all getting high. At this time I was like doing hot rails and snorting methamphetamine a lot. Do not come in here. Do not come in here. You can do it on your own. Hold on, guys. Go over here. Here, let me see your foot. And why do I have to tell you guys 6 times? Do not come in my room. Okay, give me your foot. Back up. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. So I have to shut the door and basically lock it. Okay, so I was snorting methamphetamine at that time. Like, it was me, this guy that was cooking the dope, and then like all of our friends, right? It was like James, John, freaking Tammy. There were so many of us, you guys, and we would all just hang out in this trailer, right, and get high all night long. Well, at that time, I was just doing hot rails, okay? And I don't know if you guys have ever done hot rails. Trigger warning. If you're triggered easily, you might want to X out of the video now because I'm going to be talking about abusing drugs. So what a hot rail is when you line out some methamphetamine and you get a glass pipe, like a straight shooter, okay? And you heat it up at the one end with a torch. And on the cold end, put it to your nose. And when you snort it, it smoke. It goes, yes, Celeste, you're on the same level as me. Okay, girl, you know what I'm talking about. And so that's what I would always do. That was my favorite way to do it until this day. Until this day, I saw Nate and Tammy come out of the back bedroom, and they both just looked like they were on another level. Another level. And you guys, I was on another level, okay? I would stay up for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nights in a row without any sleep, without any food. The only thing I would drink was Mountain Dew. And it was because it was constant not sleeping. I would get so sleep deprived that I would see things that weren't there, and I would hallucinate, and it was bad. So they came out of the back bedroom, and I was like, what? You guys look way higher than I am. Like, what are y'all doing? What's the deal? Why does everybody keep going in that back bedroom, right? And they were like, no, Nicole, you know, like, you don't need to do this, and trying to discourage me from it. So I went back there, and that's when I saw the rigs. That's when I saw the needles and the plates and the spoons and the cigarette filters, right? And I was like, what is going on here? And that's when they told me they were shooting up. And I was like, you know what? I want to do that. I was so adamant, you guys, on having them do it to me. I was like, please, please, I want to try it. I want to try it. So my friend Tammy mixed me up a shot. And the first shot I ever did, you guys, of methamphetamine was a 40-unit shot. And it looked like maple syrup inside the syringe. You went like that, and the little bubble would, or ice up, and you put more of the methamphetamine than there is water. It will be it will be syrupy. It will be syrupy. And so, first time it happened, you guys, she shot me up, and I'm like, the only way I can explain it to you, and I have a video here on my channel. I'm not going to go into detail in this video. I have a video here on my channel, you guys, where I talk about my experience with the first time getting shot up. Okay, it was very, very intense. So after that moment, I was just like, this is it. This is the only way. Like, I don't want to do it any other way. This is life, right? And I sat in the bathroom all night that night teaching myself how to shoot up. And that's how I learned. So within 6 months of shooting up for my first time, I was staying out all night, and me and this guy named Quincy, he was actually Pacemaker Quincy is what they called him, you guys, because he had a pacemaker and he was a black guy. And I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people will like stereotype and say, oh, well, black people, they don't do meth. I'm here to tell you that I hung out with a lot of black folks that shot meth, and this guy was one of them. So me and Quincy were riding into town, and he was driving my car, and we were bumping. We had the rap music going, you know how it was back then, you guys. I think we were listening to that one song that goes, Oxycontin, Xanax bars, Percocets, and Loratabs. That song. I got them all up for grabs. What you want, what you need. Hit me up, I got you, man. That song, okay? We were listening to that song, and we were going down Woodlawn Avenue, and down, yes, Little White. Okay, Celeste, you are on my level, girl. You are on my level. Little White. And we were listening to that song, and we were going down Woodlawn Avenue in the middle of downtown Hot Springs, Arkansas, you guys. And we had just left this these people's house where the Terry twins were at. And the Terry twins are these two girls that work for the cops. They were informants. That's what they were. They were drug addicts who didn't care and never wanted to get sober, and all they did was snitch on folks all the time. And for some reason, they were in Quincy's good graces at this time, so we went over there and brought them some dope. And then we were leaving. Well, guess what? They set us up. They snitched on us. They narked on us. So we were pulling out, and we were driving down Woodlawn, going towards Central Avenue, which is like the main street that goes through there, right? Yes! So, I'm telling you what, y'all. He was driving my car, and before I even knew what was going on, the police were surrounding us. There was like 3 cop cars marked, and 2 of those big black Suburbans. And they were surrounding us. And one of the police officers had jumped in the front seat of my car where Quincy was at, and pulled him out of the driver's side and threw him on the ground. Okay? And I'm sitting in the passenger side like, oh my God, my car is still moving forward, like it's still driving. And that cop jumps in and slams my car into park. And the next thing you know, I'm on the ground like this, spread eagle, legs spread out and everything. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Do you have anything in your pockets that's going to stick me? DeMeo, do you have anything in your pockets that's going to stick me? And I was like, no, I don't, because I didn't. But I did in my purse. That's when they went into the car and they started searching the car. And they grabbed my purse. Whose purse is this? I don't know. Well, it's got your ID in it. It ain't mine. Nicole, this is your purse. It has your driver's license. Because I had a rig with dope in it in my purse. I was like, that's not mine. I don't know whose purse that is. That's a setup. It's a setup. And you guys have to remember, like, I am spun out on the ground. Then I hear over here, Quincy's over there on the ground, and it's her dope. It's her dope. They just pull 6 grams of methamphetamine out of his sock. And he's going, it's hers, it's hers. And I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And then they popped my trunk, you guys. I had a hookah bong with like 4 hoses coming out of that. I had bags of weed in my trunk. I had a thing of gas and a thing of fuel. I had one of those torch things to gas off when you cook dope. It was like a whole damn meth lab basically in my car. And luckily, like, I was missing certain components, and I only ended up getting charged with possession of a controlled substance. And he ended up getting charged with possession also, because he had that on him. And they didn't believe him because it was in his sock. It was on his person, right? I was super, super lucky, you guys. So I ended up getting possession of a controlled substance, and then a misdemeanor possession of marijuana, and then possession of paraphernalia or something like that. And they booked us and took us in, right? So we're sitting there, and they're interrogating both of us, right? He is on like the other side of the wall, and I can hear him like bam, 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 banging on the wall, like basically telling me what I gathered. I don't know, this is just how I felt. Like, he was telling me not to say anything. That's what I thought he was doing when he was banging on the wall. So I wasn't saying anything. I wasn't talking, y'all. I wasn't talking. All right? So they pull us out of interrogation, and they allow me to make phone calls. And that's when I started just calling every friend that me and this dude knew. Every friend. And then guess what? Some dude came up there and put his Harley up to get both of us out. And we got out that same night. Literally that same night, you guys. And we got out that same night, and we went right back to doing what we were doing, getting high. Right? So it was crazy, you guys, because it was like, I knew right then, like, I was in hella trouble. I remember calling my parents and being like, I just got out of jail. I just got caught with methamphetamine. And then it hit the front page of the paper, right? And my mom and dad were so mortified. They were like, Nicole, it was in the paper, you know? My dad was so upset, you guys. I remember him being like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? And I was just like, I didn't know what I was thinking. I was just high and under the influence, not in my right mind, you know? So after that happened, I kept using drugs and alcohol, running the streets, mainly methamphetamine, and they put me on probation. So they had me meet with a public defender, and the public defender was like, "Listen, can you stay sober?" And I was thinking, well, yeah, I can stay sober. And at this time, you guys, like, you got to understand, like, I had never even tried to get sober. Like, I was just like, okay, sure, yeah, I'll stay sober. And he was like, no, seriously, like, can you stay sober? And I was like, because he was offering me drug court. And I was like, no, that's a setup. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do drug court, right? So they ended up just letting me go on probation. So I went on probation for 3 years, okay? And so this is how my whole situation got worse. Because I got on probation, you guys, and I could not stay sober, okay? I could not stop using dope. It was really, really bad. I tried everything. And that's why I want to explain to you guys, like, the progressiveness of the illness, because I tried everything to get, like, to do, you know, I would try Xanax, and then I would try meth, and then I would try drinking, and I tried all these different combinations, trying to find the magic combination to pass drug screens and not get in trouble and go to prison, right? And for the next year, I tried to find these magic combinations, and I was failing miserably. You know what, Forever Candace? And it was like, I didn't stand a chance, you guys, because I didn't know how to stay sober. I didn't stand a chance. So within a year, I had failed. I came out of treatment and relapsed, and that's when she said, you're not passing go. You're going to prison. And she revoked my probation. That's how I went to prison. I went to prison behind a probation. And so the prison that they sentenced me to it's called RPF, and it's in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And it is like it's an Arkansas State prison. But it's a boot camp style prison, right? It's like for behavior modification. And so the way it was situated was they had compounds, right? And in each compound, there was like 60 girls. And there was like 400 of us, 350 to 400 of us on the compound. And what they did was, when you would first come in, they throw you in the hole for 3 days, okay? You sit in the hole for 3 days. They make sure you don't have tuberculosis or any other infectious diseases. And then you go into Unit 1, which is like the first unit you go into, you guys, is like where you learn all the rules of the prison, okay? It's like an orientation for boot camp style prison. So let me explain it to you. It's like a huge compound. So everywhere we go, I'm marching, right? I'm marching. We have to march in formation everywhere we go. We have to make our beds in military style. We have to chant when we march, you guys. Like, it was like basically boot camp style prison. It was a boot camp. So the way the prison was set up was, in order to get out, you had to gain status, okay? And so what I mean by that is, you had to gain status by writing other inmates up. And so what this did was, it started drama and chaos all over the compound, because you had so many of us writing. We had to book each other, is what it was called, and write each other up for behaviors that were not good, right? And so what we did, because we didn't want to be snitching on each other, write each other up for fake incidents that really didn't happen, things that weren't punishable with more time. Because there were some things like trying to escape or running on the compound that would get you 7 more years in prison. Like, I'm serious, you guys. And so basically, the inmates ran this prison. Everything was up to us girls. We ran the prison. So that's why I went to prison. It was on a probation revocation. It was because I got caught with dope. and I couldn't stay sober while I was on probation. And I wanted to share that with you guys and kind of set the tone to share more stories from inside that prison with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, you could ask them right now and I'll answer them. And then I'm going to go downstairs and talk to my husband because he just came home for lunch. In fact, you know what we can do? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this video and then I'm going to come on. Give me 10 minutes. I'm going to come back on and I'll answer any questions you guys have. Okay? So meet me back here in 10 minutes.